Hi. This is Tim speaking in Season 1, Episode 1 of Circo Pequeno, Kids Corner. My intention here is very simply to start something that has grown in me over the last years. To take this opportunity that I have been gifted with this very moment to start a story with the children and to start an adventure. Now, kids. This one is for the kids, okay? That must be understood. The reason it's for the children is because I am the children's champion. This is my prime mission. And so I want to start this adventure with the children. So kids, I'm going to have to kind of get you used to a few of the dynamics of this circus. I have a story to tell you. It is a story that will continue. But it's very important for you to understand that I will change character through this bit of fun with you. And I want it to grow. I want it to grow over many, many years. As I said, my name is Tim, but today I am the superhero affectionately known as the Time Bandit. This is a character that will often pop up in this circus, and of course he is the one to start it. But I have other characters. Today, kids, you know, if any of you have already come across me, seen me, heard me, then fantastic. This is a continuation. For others, this may be the first time, in which case I want to welcome you very personally to this circus. And I want to build a story with you. I want to, well, I'll say now where I am. It's sunny, as you can probably tell. I might have to put my shades on because I'm kind of squinting here, but we'll see how we go. It's a beautiful day. It is the 3rd of February, 2023. I am on a particular beach in Portugal, on the west coast of Portugal. The beach is called Praia do Amado, near a little town, little village really, called Carapatera. I would go so far to say as it is one of the most beautiful places on earth. I come here quite often to go surfing. I have had many experiences here. I have caught, I would certainly say my best 2 or 3 waves have been on this very beach. I have also lost boards. I have also hurt myself occasionally and had boards broken on rocks. This beach for me is important. It holds great significance because of everything that has happened here. It is my ground zero, I would call it. So that's where I am. Now, being the time bandit, I won't go too long because you're kids, so I can't waffle on. So I've got a bit of the story. But being a time bandit, and this being season 1, episode 1, I want to reach out to my future self. In 1 year, on the 3rd of February 2024. And say, I hope you did well. I hope things unfolded in the favour of the children. I hope there have been advances in the care of the children on this earth. Because that is, as the children's champion, that is my mission. Among many others, this is my prime mission. So I want to say to my future selves, get your ass in gear if you haven't achieved it, and get your ass in gear. 5 years from now, me? Seriously? You must have sorted it by now. Haven't we, kids? Can we work together? Is this possible? To share a dream? To share in that care? As I've said, I'm the children's champion. Part of that is to encourage you always to keep your dreams alive, to follow your passions, to follow what makes you feel alive and excited with your life on earth. Because it is too easy as you grow up to become blinded by what others will say and what you think you should do. And I want to encourage you to always keep a part of yourself alive that is that dreamer. Because I promise you, it will be the most precious part that you have. As children, you're far more capable of touching on that imagination, of that play, the sense of just playing, building sandcastles, jumping in the sea, dreaming, enjoying and loving your life. That will be the thread through Kids Corner. That it must be about keeping your dreams alive and following your heart. The part of you that simply loves to love, that simply loves to enjoy. So if I can reach to one child today and say, hey, come on, we've got this. We can keep our dreams alive. Look to your heroes. Look to the people that lift you up. And quite honestly, let go of the rest. Dream, kids. We're entering a time of beautiful opportunity, and I want to share it with you. So keep your dreams alive. Now, talking about dreams, I got a little story. Now, it's not such a little story. It's a really big story. I started telling it to my son some years ago, and it has grown from there. He now asks it, it's his go-to to get to sleep, a Ziki story. And so the main character is called Ziki, okay? And he happens to be the fastest bedbug on Earth. That's the base of the story. We join the story in the middle, really. It is a story that doesn't really have any end, which is kind of handy for me once I get to season 10, episode 10. I am writing it as we go. And I really, really want to share it with you guys. Okay? So here we go. The start of the story of Ziki, the fastest bedbug in the world. I started writing this on the 3rd of January this year. Okay. This is the story of Ziki, the fastest bedbug in the world. It is a story without beginning or end. There are adventures and friendships, challenges and love found. It is written by one hand, yet held by all. It is an example of never giving up and trusting in the invisible net of unconditional love all things exist on. It starts in the middle, although how is there a middle with no start or finish? Anyway, we find Ziki and Dragonophocus at the end of a long day. As was their habit, they are having an end-of-day chat, catching up and seeing the day for what it is. Around them, the young bugs are fast asleep, as are all the dragons, both young and old. They whisper, as they only just got them to sleep. They look over at the magic bugs, who are the only ones still awake, still intent on their work. Dragonophocus, I saw her. Who? Answers the dragon. Look, I need to talk to you. I need to tell you a story, says Ziki. Dragonophocus was aware Ziki had been odd all day, not his normal self, since they arrived at his favourite place. The place of his ancestors, the place of his birth, the cave. The cave that held all history, a place of beginnings and endings. The cave they had arrived at that very morning. All on the net, excited to be back at his home, the greatest cave on Earth. On the southern side of the highest point of Everest was a portal, an entry into this wonderland. As they entered for the 5th time in his memory, he had noticed Ziki become distracted. He thought it was just in admiration of what was so wonderful, yet now understood more. As they had arrived, the magic net had brought them to the door of the palace, as was custom. Dragonophocus had eyes only for the queen, yet noticed Ziki looking elsewhere, and he had not been the same since. Now, at the end of a day to be remembered, he realized Ziki had noticed nothing since. Ziki, you have been odd all day. What happened? I cannot explain. I need to tell you a story of my life, a story of adventure, of truth, replies Ziki. Ziki, I expect nothing less. I love your stories, but why does this one seem different? Queries Dragonophocus. It is just, I can only tell you. Dragonophocus feels fate and destiny like a cloak on his shoulders and sits up straighter. If I am to hear this story, there is only one thing to help us, and I will share it with you. He reaches into his magic dragon belt and brings out a small bottle. He holds it solemnly before them both. This bottle contains the liquid of the dragons. Dragon juice, Ziggy. No, not dragon juice, replies Dragonophocus. Good, not interested, insists Ziggy. This is serious. No human can drink it. It brings understanding and vision. It is an elixir. I do not know what it will do to bedbugs, but you are no ordinary bug. I have been aware you were different today, and you are not normal any day. Therefore, I need a drink. Dragonophocus takes a drink from the bottle. His pupils dilate, and he looks at Ziggy. Did you see the queen, Ziggy? Did you see how she looks? Ziggy shakes his head. I am telling the story. I have started, so I will finish. Ziggy notices a drop of the dragon juice falling from the dragon's lips. He cannot move. He finds himself stuck, the held moment, as the drop engulfs him. For a moment he cannot see. He opens his mouth to breathe, and then he understands. Ziggy! Ziggy, are you okay? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Ziggy? Ziggy looks at Dragonophocus. He comes into focus, and Ziggy tries to speak. Just a whisper comes out. Good. You are here, assures the great dragon. I can't speak. You just did. Where are we? Just look, Ziggy. Ziggy's vision clears more. Things in his peripheral vision catching his attention. The wall of the cave, the roof way above. Light seeming to come from the rock itself, the soft sound of water running, and a far-off waterfall. He takes it in, and more appears. He becomes aware of his own little body, and it expands to fill the cave and beyond, to distant mountains. He catches himself in between memories and imagination, a sweet spot of infinite possibilities, ready to embrace the entire galaxy. One breath in and out, and he is looking into the dragon's eyes. The dragon smiles his greatest smile, now filling Ziggy's sight. How you doing, little guy? Asked Dragonophocus. Ziggy becomes aware that it is just the two of them sat at a table, a beautiful emerald table, glowing from within. Colourful jewels adorn the edge, and an ancient script appears and disappears on the surface. He smiles back at the dragon and finds he can now speak clearly. Where are we? He asks. We are still in the cave, yet outside of time. You will understand all in good time. Don't worry about it. Now you were about to tell me a story. That is why we are here, little one. Remember that, explains the kind dragon. Ziggy remembers that morning like it was a different life, yet sees that one thing once again. That moment, his eyes fell on her. Unable to speak as she smiled so beautifully at him, his mind has checked out at once, but the quest was begun. I know her, Dragonophocus, insists Ziggy. Who? Asked Dragonophocus. The one by your queen. She was right there. I know her. Ah, that would be young Zara, the queen's bug in waiting. You have an eye for the bugs, huh? Jokes the dragon, his eyes shining in merriment, enjoying his friend's confusion. You know her. Tell me, pleads Ziggy. Well, it is not so simple. I know of her. Everyone does. But I am more interested in what you know, deflects the dragon. Ziggy looks at the dragon, the one he knows so well, remembers all their conversations, and knows he must play his part. Always a roundabout way to the answer he seems to already know. Okay, Dragonophocus, let us play your story game. I will begin with the time I am sure I first met her. The dragon settles down, his eyes intent on his favourite little friend. Ziggy clears his throat and begins. When I was a young bedbug, I realized just how lucky I was. I had left my home, assuring all I would return, and set out on an adventure. I had grown up on the edge of the great bed, hearing many stories from the older bugs. Stories that captured all our attention and fired my imagination. I was told of the great bed where we all lived. It was the Queen's bed, but the King was welcome as long as he had a shower first. Indeed, she was known to say, "It is never too late for a shower." They were a great couple, and all on the bed were devoted to them. The Queen was beauty in person, and could do all things, her power unmatched. Yet it was when the King was there that the fun started, their whispers and giggles filling the room, her laughter shaking the bed. The young bugs would whisper about what they were doing, but were shushed by the older bugs, who knew only too well of these things. When you are older, you will learn more, they were told. Just remember the rules. Be good bed bugs, enjoy all you have, love all, and do not bite the Queen or the King. We all grew in this way, and knew we were the luckiest of bedbugs to live on such a magnificent bed. I remembered my young days as I set out on my adventure, and it returned to me every day. My foundation was strong, and I imagined all bugs to be blessed. It took many trials and journeys to reach my destination, the edge, the foot of the great bed. Here I could see so much. I could see the window. I could see the door. On that day I reached the edge. I was ready. I was prepared. I had my windsuit on. I leant into the wind. I looked beyond and surfed the updrafts and flew. As I flew, I saw more and more. I knew the legends to be true. I was not the only one flying that day. I saw a group of fellow bugs. They flew together. I tried again and again and felt my connection to the wind. I praised it and said my thanks. Just then, I saw one bug fly from the group. She flew like no other, and my eyes were drawn again and again. Closer and closer she came to me, until our eyes locked. She was right in front of me. Dragonophocus, it was her. The one I saw this morning. The one I loved and let go so long ago. Dragonophocus chuckled, seeing his friend relive such times. Oh, Ziki. Now, that's the start of the story, guys. I will continue that story, and I will continue to share it with you, whether you ask me to or not, because I'm the children's champion, you see. Being a champion implies never giving up, holding to a dream and continuing with that dream. If I can ever help children hold their dreams alive, keep their passions alive, that is what I'm here to do. Now, some of you may be a little bit too young, or maybe I said the story a little bit too fast, I realised. This, in a sense, it doesn't matter, because I'm attempting to start something that involves just that, a dream, an invisible dream. So for the ones too young, perhaps I'll come up with a simplified kids' corner. But for those I assume perfectly old enough, from kind of, 6, 7 upwards. I really want to share this story with you and many more little bits of fun. Like I say, I got a lot of other characters, and this is a circus. Today, day one on the beach. No idea where we'll be next. And that is the fun. I want to share fun. I want the children of this world to have fun. And to be cared for. And to care for each other. Just like the bedbugs. So, a little try, a little reach out. And for me, the beginning of something I can see going on for the rest of my life. That I'm sure it might get a little bit more sophisticated. One day I might even have some help. But to be honest, it doesn't matter. Because if I can speak to one child today, regardless of your age, and encourage you to keep a dream going, just as I was encouraged as a child. The gift I was given by many of the adults around. I want to continue that exact same magic and share that with you and encourage you to keep your dreams alive, because I promise you, the path of your life will be beautiful. So any little things, the end of season 1, episode 1, love to all the children. Please let us take this journey together. Have some fun. I do, perhaps, in these little things, perhaps one of the things, because I used to be, and still am, a juggler. Okay, you know what juggling is. So I used to juggle for children and then teach them to juggle. And I loved this for years. So perhaps that could be part of it. We could have little juggling lessons if any of you guys would like to learn to juggle. And many other things. I mean, I believe once I have some help, I could bring more people in to teach you other things, teach you music, teach you so many things. Because as I've learned, having a teacher in what you do, whatever it may be. I should have had a surfing teacher many years ago. I never did. And I've wasted a lot of time through that. So I think teachers are very important. That we can share, as we get older, what we have learned. And share it in a way that makes you as children feel very, very important, because as the children's champion, I gotta tell you, you are the most important. You're the most fortunate beings ever to walk this earth. I would go that far. And so I want to be a part of your magic that I know you're going to experience. And so, be nice to your mums. Listen to your parents and teachers and anyone looking after you. Be good. Look after yourself. Cut your toenails, fingernails. Stay clean. Stay bright. And above all else, hold a genuine desire to give good in this world, because it will come back to you as good. good to animals. I'm loading it all on. Sorry, kids. I just want to say at the very end here that in a sense this is dedicated to a bunch of children in Nigeria, Mr. Junior and the Dream Team, 75 orphans that I promised a story about a year or so ago. And here I am beginning that story. And with that same understanding, I think the children of this earth can begin to help the other children of this earth, because I'm not sure if the adults are ever capable of getting it together. But kids, don't give up on the adults, but they need your help. They need your help to understand what's more important and what, as adults, we get caught up in our problems and our worries. And I don't want to have them. Children's Champion, Time Bandit, signing off. Thank you. Thank you.